Hey, it's late. I'm up working. What I'm doing right now is working on videos. But I was on Instagram. I was taking a break. And I was on Instagram. And man, I ran across this video, and I'll post a link to the video in the comments or something like that. And I will be calling this school tomorrow. I'm not sure how old this video is, but I will be calling this school tomorrow to kind of give them a sense of awareness if they're not aware already. But I think to actually have a person who is not from the area, who don't have a student or child going to the school, to actually call the school and show concern from what I've seen. I think that is very important, and I am going to do that because from what I've seen, as far as the child who was victimized in this video, I do believe that his parents need to be made aware. I think the school needs to be made aware. I think the department needs to be made aware. The students are wearing school clothing with the emblem and logo on there with the school name on the clothing. So I think that could be a very big problem that they need to be made aware, especially when you're dealing with schools. Um, from what I've seen, that they were just featured in a magazine talking about how great the athletic department is as far as the basketball, and I think also the football and the girls basketball. Anyway, long story short, I'll post the video. I'll try to post it. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the repost and all that kind of stuff, where they kind of do the split screen with the videos and stuff like that. But anyway, basically in this video, you have a young boy who's part of, looks like a basketball team, kind of a locker room situation where they're in there chilling in the locker room, and basically this little boy, which I wouldn't even, well, he's a little boy. He's in high school. He's not a grown man, so he's a little boy. He's obviously younger than the rest of them, maybe a freshman in high school, because you could tell that there was a little hazing, um, which was not the issue for me because boys will be boys. I think boys need to be a little tougher on each other. I think it's something that builds testosterone in the sense of manhood at a young age, but there should be a sense of structure. Um, and basically, what was happening is that this freshman was being held down and basically sexually assaulted by several other students. Anytime you hold the student down and you have your genitals in their face, or you're fondling the genitals of another child without their consent, I believe that that is you're sexually victimizing another individual. I think the whole thing with sexual pervertedness has become almost a taboo. It has become something that's comical, and it's really not. I think that there needs to be a sense of awareness of how allowing your children to be victims of sexual perverted behavior, how it also can direct their preference of gender as far as their sexual preference. There's a lot of things that go on in schools that your kids are not going to tell you about. Sometimes you have to take a situation and make them aware that you care about them, you care about their safety, you care about what goes on at that school. You have and also make it clear that not only will you not tolerate sexual perverted behavior on their behalf, but you won't allow, let me rephrase that you won't allow them to be victimized by other people who are touching them in a unwelcoming manner. but you also would not tolerate them doing it to another person. I think that that is the biggest thing, is that a lot of children are being victimized, but there's no one to tell them, number one, it's not your fault. Number two, your behavior, the behavior that you were victimized, the things that you had done to you were absolutely wrong. And you do not do those things to another individual. And these are the type of lessons that I believe are being skipped over with parents these days, because it seems like, everybody seems like they're so into trying to be their child's friend instead of being their protector and being their leader and guider. Not to be pulled by your children or your child or whoever you're the guardian over, but you are to lead them. You are supposed to be in authority of your home. It is your job to protect your children at all costs. At all costs, regardless of race or family member or association or organization. It is your business to protect your child at all costs. There should not be an excuse why this video has went viral and nothing or no one has called this school in with a sense of urgency of concern. Because I feel like if that was my child, if that was my son, and I'm sitting up at 11, 12 o'clock at night looking on Instagram or something like that, and I pass a video like that, he will be up right now filing a police report at the police department on these students right now at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. There is absolutely no way that I will allow a video of my son being sexually violated go viral and nothing happens behind this. This is too much sexually perverted behavior in children that are young. And people just kiki and caca about it like it's funny. And I don't understand that. I literally just watched a boy get held down with other kids trying to make him lick their behind, putting their penises in his face, trying to, basically sexually violating him in a group in front of everybody. They made him the centerpiece in the room while other boys sexually violated him. And so I went in the comments just to see, what type of mindset, what type of people are commenting. And not one comment there was a person or adult that's chimed in to say, you know what, this is absolutely wrong. What is the name of this school? Let's get together and call this school. Let's figure out where this child is or what school this child go to. Because even if he's ashamed to go to people who are in authority, because I'm an adult, because I'm a parent, let me step up and speak for this child, not even knowing who he is. Because after what I seen, if that was caught on camera, no telling what's going on when the camera goes off. How do we know that this child wasn't sexually, wasn't raped by a boy or by these boys after this camera went off? How do we know that this child isn't being molested on the slick every time he come into that locker room? How do we know? So let's be more aware of the activities of our children. Let's be more aware of the people that we have them around, who we leave them with, who's always so quick to volunteer to keep them. And also those individuals that your children say, the individuals and places that your children say that they don't want to go anymore. If they were fine going in the beginning, how about you question them to say, why don't you want to go? And if you don't want to go, won't you point out the reason why? If it's a person, show me who they are. I'm your parent. You show me who they are, and I will have a discussion with them to see what the issue is that they have with a child, why you are uncomfortable. If you're supposed to be safe here, regardless if they're a relative or who, it don't matter who they are. If your child is supposed to be safe and your child is showing signs of being uncomfortable after you pick them up and they don't want to go back, there is a reason why. Allowing another adult or the person in charge to tell you, oh, well, it's nothing, girl, that's a lie. And I would not take my child back. Children are very aware of evil intentions. Like, not evil intentions, but they are very aware of evil and demonic interruptions. They can sense it. They know when they are in danger or if there's a possibility of danger. And if you are not aware of your children's demeanor and their behavior, you will put them in a position to be constantly violated, constantly disrespected, constantly belittled, constantly molested, constantly abused verbally, emotionally, mentally, psychologically. You will put them in a position for that. And when they get to an age where it's time for puberty or whatever, and you're wondering what happened, you got to make sure that we don't get to this stage. So put on your big girl drawers, put on your big boy underwear, and get to looking and asking questions and being aware of scratches and bruises and stuff like that on your children. Be aware. The way society is these days, as much as young people are being victimized in a perverted manner, these are the times where you need to be aware of your daughters. Be aware of these little boys, because these little boys are choking these little girls down. Make your little girls come in after they go on their little dates or hanging out, come in and tell her to put on a tank top so you can make sure that she's not being abused. Reinforce the knowledge and the support of healthy living. If you have to tell her every other day, don't let no boy put their hands on you. You're a queen. And that goes for every race, every female. You are a queen. Don't let no man put their hands on you. There's no reason for you to be 14, 15, allowing another 14, 15-year-old or 18, 19-year-old, whatever age he is, to sit there and choke you down and put his hands around your neck and be violent towards you. And he's staying with his mother as well. You are children. There's no reason. That's not cute. It's not funny. And you should not allow it. You shouldn't be in a relationship with the individual where the word no doesn't mean anything. The word no stands for no. Whether you've been in a relationship a month or 5, 10, 15 years. When you say no, he's supposed to respect the word no. When you say don't put your hands on me, that means don't put your hands on me. That's what it means. Don't change. Be consistent in what you say. So that when you say what you say, it means you have a consistent record. You have a record that's consistent with what you say. Don't flip-flop. If you say no in the beginning, keep no all night long. Don't flip-flop. You can't flip-flop back and forth with men. You can't flip-flop back and forth with the boys, because the truth of the matter is, at the age that you are, you don't have no self-control. Once the penis get hard, the only thing they thinking about is trying to get their dick wet, baby. So don't play those games. And actually, I feel like at those ages anyway, you don't have no business having sex anyway. If you can't finish algebra, baby, you don't need to be spreading your legs at all. And that's real right there. If you can't sit down and finish your homework, there's no reason for you to be spreading your legs if you can't spread that book open and finish your work. You shouldn't be sexually active at all. Because what you don't know is the more that you're sexually active, the older you look. So when you get to your late 20s and 30s and all that type of stuff, and you looking like you 25 but you look like 42, that's from giving your soul away. So let us have a mind of being aware of sexual perverted spirits, sexually perverted interactions among groups of people, or where you take your children, or the athletic programs that they are participating in that you cannot be there 2 hours a day. You can't watch them every second, but you can set boundaries. And a lot of parents don't know that. You can set boundaries of what you want your child to do and what you don't want them to do. You don't have to let your child sit up in a locker room for 35, 45 minutes. If the coaches have no need for him, he can stand outside. Matter of fact, if you tell coach that wherever you go, he go. My son won't be sitting in a locker room where there's the capability of him being sexually victimized because of this dumb behavior. Now, you can't mother or correct everybody's children, but you know what yours is doing. And as long as you know what yours is doing, you have done your job. But it's nothing wrong speaking up and making it aware that you will not allow it to take place in the program, at the location, or with the person. You're not going to tolerate it. If you got a teenager and you got to take them to the doctor to make sure that they are not being sexually violated, that's exactly what you do. Because I tell you what, as of right now, my son is 3 years old. And I promise you, every time my son is away from me, every time there's a new student or an older child that's in the group of kids that he's playing with, I check him every single time. And I ask him, did someone touch him on his behind? Or someone touch him on his penis, or someone fondled him around his mouth. And as with him being 3 years old, he knows that you don't go there. You don't touch that. You don't mess with that. You don't do that. They know. So let us be aware. Let us be more aware of our children so that they are not put in situations that will lead to problems later on in their lives. That will welcome confusion as far as their identity of what they're looking at in the mirror, so that you can continue to have this very confident child that you had from the beginning. So be aware of your children. Be aware of the stains in their underwear. Be aware of the smells. Be aware of the change in their pheromones. Be aware of the facial gestures and the body language when they go around certain people. If you watch your children's body language can tell you a lot. Especially watching their eyes and watching their facial gestures. If you gotta get their text record, do that. That doesn't mean you take the opportunity to embarrass them about natural processes in children's lives, especially when it comes to the boys and girls during the teenage years. That's not an opportunity to embarrass them, but it's an opportunity to make sure that they are safe. And make sure that they are not getting involved in things that they are not supposed to, and making sure that they are not being victimized unknowingly. And if they are allowing it, you need to figure out or have a conversation with them, trying to figure out, how did this become something that you became okay with? What made you think that it was okay to allow this, where you could not communicate with me about that this was going on? If you have to hide it, then you don't need to do it. Especially if we're talking about children. Now, I'm not talking about grown folks. I'm not talking about grown folks. I'm talking about children that's getting up every morning to get on a bus. Be aware. Be aware of your children. It's an ugly world out there, people. And it's time for us as grown-ups to take on the responsibilities and accountabilities that we are set, that we are given. Godly responsibilities and accountabilities that we have as adults, not only as parents, not only as rulers and protectors of our children, but of all children. And if people would have more that type of mindset, there will be less children being buried from taking their own lives. There will be less children become depressed because they're being molested in locker rooms and behind closed doors after being dropped off with their parents. Babies, open your mouth and speak. If your parents won't hear you, someone will hear you. Someone will hear you. Leave a comment, inbox me. If you ever want to talk about something that's going on in your life, if you ask me for help, I will take out the time to try to find you help in an anonymous manner. And we will get this thing rectified. No child, no individual, no man, no woman should be put in a place to think that they have to be sexually victimized in any manner, and it's okay. It's not okay. No means no. When the girl pulls away from you, you let her go. When the boy pulls away from you, you let him go. And girls, keep your hands off these boys. You are not a man. If you don't want to be hit like a man, don't act like a man. Boys, don't put yourself in a position to be provoked. Fighting is not funny. You can be put in jail, because the only thing that little girl got to do is go home and lie. So don't be caught in the midst of a lie when you dealing with a player. Especially when she have her family wrapped around her finger, or he have his family wrapped around his finger. Be aware of your surroundings. Parents, be aware of their surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings, parents. Be aware of these men and these women that you have in your lives that want to be so involved and want so many details and want to come over all the time. You don't have to be so sexually perverted. You don't have to be so sexually promiscuous. You don't have to offer your body as collateral. If a man wants to do for you, he will do for you. You don't have to exchange something that a man would do with no problem for a man that wants you to exchange your body as collateral for him to do something for you. You don't have to do that. If you put yourself in the mindset to say, hey, this is the avenue, I am not going to be a slut. I am not going to exchange my body for financial profit. Is it hard sometimes not being able to provide? Yes, it is. But at the end of the day, your respect is more important. Being able to be around a group of men and being able to say and carry yourself with respect, and they can go scroll your picture up on IG where you bent over with your behind in the air, it says volumes. You do not have to exchange your body for collateral. That is not what it was made for. It wasn't made to be exchanged for cash. Yes, it's an easy process. Yes, it's hard to try to live a life of dignity and respect. But at the end of the day, your soul is more important. Your soul and being protective of your soul will keep you looking young. It will keep you healthy. It will keep you vibrant. And I tell you, if you put yourself in the mindset of doing better, God will take care of you. He will open doors to keep you taken care of. I know for a fact. I know for a fact. If you don't believe nobody else, please believe me. If you will stick to your guns and maintain an accountability of respect, of virtue for yourself, and keep your legs closed and not open your legs to every man that says that you make their penis hard, he will take care of you. Hold on to your sanity. Hold on to your soul. Hold on to your body. Keep it precious. Don't make your body like a deck of cards where it just be spread out everywhere. Do it any kind of way. Bend it, fold it, whatever. If you want to draw on it, draw on it. You want to mark it, you mark it. You want to tear a piece off, you tear a piece off. Your body is not a deck of cards. Make sure you stay healthy. If it ain't looking right, it ain't smelling right, and it's doing something funny, have the mindset to go to a doctor. You can go anonymously, and they shouldn't be sharing your information anyway because it's against the law. So have a mindset of awareness, accountability, and what's the word I'm looking for? And being protective of those things that you hold close, that will keep you in a routine of heavy living. Everything that glitter ain't gold, baby. Sometimes you gotta struggle to get to where you're going. But at the end of the day, etiquette, class, and respect, taking the accountability in your God-given authority, and being human is key. Be happy in your own little bubble. Have faith. Be patient. Pray about it. Don't jump up and do anything. And God will take care of you. No one's asking you to be perfect. Because it's not one man on this earth that's perfect. There are millionaires that have everything they want around them, but they still are not happy. Happiness is key. Health is key. Peace is key. And maintaining an interaction with God, maintaining a mindset that's open to critique, that's it, man. Because he will lead and he will guide you. Listen to those things. Listen to that small voice. Listen to the anxiety, feelings of anxiety. Sometimes those feelings of anxiety means that you shouldn't do it. And if you feel like you shouldn't do it, or a side of your mind is telling you not to do it, or you got hair standing up on the back of your neck, don't touch it, don't do it. Be aware. Eyes open. Ears open. Check your peripherals. Check reflections in front of you so you can see behind you. Have them thinking you see everything. I could be looking right at you, but I'm looking at the reflection in my laptop, looking behind me at this bedpost. All because I moved my foot and I seen something. I got my laptop right here. Learn those type of things. Study psychology. Study sociology. Study economics. Study physiology. Study all of that, man. It all comes together. You'll be surprised what you can learn. Nothing wrong with being intelligent, because it can help you in so many different manners, just keeping your ears open and absorbing the type of information that is beneficial to what you are trying to do in your life. Y'all be blessed. Peace. Hair grease.